Okay, we have a new Bible that was sent to me from 316 Publishing, Steadfast Bibles. This is a Legacy Standard Bible, Portable Paragraph Reference Edition. This is a new offering from them, and it's really an interesting edition. I'm really looking forward to showing this to you. They also sent me some other things that I'll show you in a future video, but let's take a look at this Bible. One thing I like is it's called portable. A lot of Bibles that are this size, they try to either say compact or hand size, and it gives people like a certain image of how big it should be. But I think just a generic word like portable explains it well and doesn't in any way misinform people or cause a misunderstanding. The size of this Bible is just under 7 inches tall, about 5 inches wide, and about 1.5 inches thick. So I think that is a really good name for this Bible. It's portable. It does come in a slipcase here. This is called the Green Trinity Knot Edition. It's a faux leather edition. They also have Bibles like this that are in cowhide or goat skin if you want to get really the higher end. And the back of the box tells you about this Bible. It doesn't have a price on here, but the price for the faux leather Bibles, the retail is $55 for non-indexed and about $70 for the indexed Bible. And this one that they sent me does have the thumb indexes to show you where the books of the Bible are. So we'll look at that. The price, though, that you're going to pay at 316 Publishing is a little bit less than the retail price. So you can get the non-indexed for as little right now, at least right now, as $45. This one would cost about $60 because it is the indexed version. Amazon, I think this is going for $65. Now that may sound expensive, but we have to keep in mind inflation is one factor going on here, the economy, and also the design of this, the materials, and that's what we'll take a look at and see if it is worth it. One of the features here, though, that is just really excellent to see is we're going to get, in a portable format, a 9.5 size font. It is a 2-column paragraph layout, so that's one of the unique features. They have verse-by-verse formats. This is going to be paragraph, but also a reference Bible, and you can see all the references right there in the sample. So I'm really excited about this. We'll also compare it to a couple other Bibles so you kind of see how it compares. But just the Bible itself, first of all, faux leather edition that I have here. It looks very nice. Reminds me of some of the Crossway imitation leathers. They don't have a branded name like Crossway does or Thomas Nelson, who will use things like Leather Soft or True Tone. This is just faux leather, but that really says it. I mean, it is. It's just imitation leather. And I think it looks a lot like real leather. It isn't, but it has a very nice look to it. And I like that Trinity knot on the front with the green color scheme. The spine just has the blind stamping on the side there, but very nice with Holy Bible, Legacy Standard Bible, the logo, Steadfast Bibles, and some tooled hubs there. Again, just blind stamped in there. Then you have perimeter stitching on the edge, reinforces, gives a little bit more security to that construction. I also really like that they have not a paper paste down, but a vinyl type paste down liner. Really love that. If you're going to have paste down, you have some good solid material in there. And there's also cardstock at the front and the back. So this is really reminiscent of what you get from Lockman Foundation. That nice sturdy quality, even if you're getting a paste down Bible. Edgeline, by the way, would be more the higher end, but a lot of paste downs today do have paper, so it's really good to see a paste down that is still really solid construction. I really like that, and to me that's one reason it is going to be worth more money. There's another reason too, but we'll take a look in a second about that. But the ribbons on this one, there are two. They're very long. They're straight cut. They're both green, and they are, looks to me like they're double-sided. So I think, even though they're the narrower type ribbons, they fit well with the form factor of this Bible. So two very nice ribbons. And then the page edges on this one, and this I think is where some people are going to maybe complain a little bit. They would like to see the gold. But, they had to choose where to spend the money. And you can get the gold edges if you buy the higher end edition of this Bible. So that's certainly an option. But to me, you're getting a faux leather Bible. This is a little bit more about just economical type of a Bible, that you just want something that is pretty affordable. You're not necessarily worried about keeping it perfect and having to, keep it in a cover all the time. So I think having white page edges is perfectly fine for an edition like this. And there are the thumb indexes right there. That's great. Let's just start to look at the inside of this Bible so you see what's in here, how it's formatted. And there are some really nice features that I do think increase the cost, but also they increase the value. It is just one title page here that I see. Looks very nice. It tells you that it's the portable paragraph reference. It is a red letter Bible. And when you look at the copyright information, you'll see this one is printed in Korea. It's the 2024 printing, first printing of this specific edition. And they have, of course, the forward here to the translation. You'll notice already that you're seeing here some two color tones. You have red for the title there, and then black for the rest of the print. And I see red up in the headings here. So that's one of the things that is going to increase the cost, is having two colors of ink in this Bible. But the red is just so rich and dark, beautifully done. Here are the books of the Bible. And then we'll look at the title page. Title page, it looks like, is black ink. And then when we get in here, you have a red ink for the title of the book, Genesis. The chapter title is in red. The verse numbers and the Bible text in this section are in black. The bottom of the page here, you have all those cross-references and footnotes for the Legacy Standard Bible. And there you have it. I mean, one of the things that is just so wonderful about this Bible is, as small as this is, it is 9.5 size font. That is, I think, really just a wonderful thing they accomplished, that they have a Bible this portable that is 9.5 size font, still incredibly readable for its size. The other thing that I think really makes this worth more money is the paper quality. And sometimes I feel like Steadfast Bibles really get this right. And this is one of those editions where it came out really well. The paper in this, to me, feels fantastic, and there's not a lot of ghosting. To me, it's really good quality paper. I did notice this edition had some wrinkles at the very beginning. I don't think I did that because I just got this Bible. You could hardly see them. I did want to mention that, that can happen in shipping or in the manufacturing process. Very minor. You can't really even see it, but I did want to note that can happen. But overall, this paper is just really good. And you see the formatting here. Anytime there's poetry, you're going to have that poetic setting. But one of the things that's just so amazing to me about this in terms of readability is even the footnotes and the cross-references at the bottom here. It's a good size font. I think for anybody who maybe has a hard time with smaller print, but they would love to have a portable Bible, this may be good enough. Not if you have real bad eyesight, but if you're just kind of like on the edge, where if it's a little too small, it's hard to read. This, I think, is just amazing what they did here. As you go through here, we'll look at some more of the poetic setting in the book of Psalms. You see here, and The verse numbers also, that's another formatting feature. They're very bold, always easy to find the verses in the Legacy Standard Bible, even in the paragraph format here because of those very bold verse numbers. As we get to the end of the Old Testament, you'll have a New Testament title page. And looking at the New Testament, it is red letter for the words of Christ. The red letter that I've seen in here is very, very well done overall. It's not always perfectly consistent. I mean, this page, I would say, is lighter than some other pages, but even this, even when it's a little lighter, comparatively speaking, that's still a pretty rich-looking red. This also is lighter, I would say, than some of the other places, but again, still looks really readable. It's not a bright red. It's not light or faded. And then some places, it's actually hard to tell if you're in dim lighting, the difference between the red and the black, because some of the red is just so nice and dark. This page here, pretty dark. So for a red letter Bible, which can be hard to print consistently, I think they did a very good job. I think most people are going to be very happy with the red letter in this Bible. You know, some people don't like that as much, but I think they did a good job overall with the red. It's a pretty dark red on the whole. So that's the red letter. Of course, it has all the typical formatting features of the Legacy Standard Bible. Pronouns for deity capitalized. Quotes in the New Testament from the Old Testament are small caps. And supplied words in English are going to have italics. So you will see italicized words at times, just for supplied English words. So those are features people love. Also the copious footnotes, you have that in this edition. And having that the two-tone color format, two different colors, I think just really makes this a high quality, even though it's more economical than some of the other versions of this. This is still really well done. They did a great job with this text block. When you get to the end of the Bible, you'll see here it does actually in the thumb index say that it has a helps section. So we'll get back there and look at that. This is after the book of Revelation. You have a blank sheet of paper. Well, one side is blank, and then on the other side it says monetary units, weights and measures. And then, after a couple blank sheets of paper, you have the Lockman maps on glossy cardstock paper. And those, just the maps we've seen for years in these kinds of Bibles. They're very nice. And then you have the end sheet there. Now, I don't know why you don't have more cardstock. I suppose it's because the cardstock for the maps here kind of do the trick, and they didn't want it to get too thick. So you have cardstock at the beginning, kind of a thicker cardstock, and you do have a thicker paper. It's not exactly like the cardstock, but it is that glossy paper that's a little thicker for the maps, and one end sheet at the back. So overall construction, really good. So that's why it costs as much as it does. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about the price of this. Personally, I think with the way prices are right now, this is worth what they're asking for. Again, non-indexed version on their website, 316publishing.com. You can get this for $45. So that actually is a good deal. $60 if you get the indexed version on their website currently. Okay, let's compare this though, just so you can see what the size really looks like with some other Bibles. I'm going to show you a personal size Quintel, known for being a form factor that's very easy to travel with, kind of a small Bible. And you can see the portable paragraph Bible is even smaller than the personal size Quintel, the PSQ. Very similar width, but in terms of height, it's about an inch shorter, just looking at it. Similar width, I would say, between the two Bibles. I think the portable paragraph reference Bible is a little thicker than the PSQ, but you can see, pretty comparative there in their size. This one even a little bit smaller. But the really cool thing about this is that font size. The PSQ is known for being readable, and you can see there that the font size in this one is actually one size lower. It's 8.5. This one is 9.5, and I think that they did a really good job. Now, I will say, looking at it in person, they look almost the same. But yeah, this is a little bit larger font. So I think that's just amazing for even a smaller Bible than the PSQ. And then you see there the bottom of the page, both of them have cross-references at the bottom. Footnotes in the PSQ are separated from the cross-references. Personally, I like that, whereas all of them are together in the Portable Paragraph Bible. But that's okay. I mean, they're saving space, and they did a good job with their use of page space in this Bible. So that is a look at those two. Poetry, how do they look in comparison? I think they're going to look pretty similar, pretty narrow columns in both Bibles. But you can see, and even in terms of ghosting, this one does about as well, maybe even a little better than the PSQ in terms of ghosting. Really close. This is higher quality paper, technically speaking, but they did a great job with the paper in this. One more comparison is an older edition of the NASB, or older, the format is the 1977. So this is something you can get from AMG Publishers. It's the giant print Bible in the New American Standard Bible 1977. I've done a review of this, and one of the things that, really strikes me is that the format of this reminds me a little bit of this Bible. I'll show you. Notice here, there's some similarities. And I think one of the similarities that really stands out are those lines. You have a line in the center. You have a line in the center right here. Now, there's a line across the bottom because of the references, whereas the references in this Bible are actually under the verses themselves, the cross-references. But the footnotes are on the bottom here. And so you have footnotes at the bottom there. So there are some similarities and some differences. But I think those lines and the two-column paragraph, well, this one's paragraph. This is actually verse by verse. But the two columns there with the line do remind me of each other. Also, good size print for the size of the Bible. This has more wide line spacing, obviously. But there's a lot more room in this Bible. But still, line spacing in this one here, the Paragraph Bible is still really good. This one, though, the paper in this is pretty thin, and actually sometimes the ghosting isn't really noticeable in this. It's not line matched. I think this one is line matched. The print on this side of the page matches with the lines on the other side of the page, so that helps with ghosting. So I'm going to say that, really when you compare these two, this is clearly a step up in readability and quality on the whole for its size, even compared to that giant print Bible from AMG. Still a really good Bible if you want the NASB 77. But you're talking here about, I think this is 11-point font. Yeah, 11-point type. And this one 9.5. And look at the size difference. That is really incredible. So I have to say, I really think that this one turned out incredibly well for Steadfast Bibles. I'm giving this A+, I would say, on the whole. The one thing that people might complain about is the price. But at the end of the day, you spend a little extra money and you're going to get better quality, and it's going to last you a long time. To me, that's worth it. The paper in this is really quite fantastic for what you're paying for and what kind of a Bible this is. If you have any questions or comments about this Bible, I'd love to see that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a fresh perspective.